Welcome to StoryGrove, where we share screen-free stories for kids without noisy advertisements. We hope you enjoy. The Swing Set Time Machine, a screen-free tale. Chapter 1. The Mysterious Swing Set. It was a perfectly ordinary afternoon at Willowbrook Park. Birds chirped, squirrels squabbled over acorns, and the scent of freshly mowed grass lingered in the warm air. But for siblings Maya and Eli, nothing about today felt exciting. For some reason, they were bored. Same old slide, same old monkey bars, Eli sighed, kicking at a patch of dirt. His mop of curly hair flopped in his face as he scuffed his shoe against a rock. Maya, older by exactly 2 years and 5 months, rolled her eyes. Maybe if you actually tried the monkey bars, you'd stop whining. I would, but my arms are too short, Eli shot back. I'm built for thinking, not swinging. Maya smirked. You're built for sitting on benches. Their banter continued until their eyes drifted to the old swing set at the far edge of the park. Unlike the shiny new playground equipment, the swing set looked ancient. Its metal frame was rusty, the chains creaked, and no one ever seemed to use it anymore. I dare you to go swing on the creaky one, Eli teased, folding his arms. Please, Maya replied, marching over. Easy. She plopped onto the swing, giving a small jump to start. Eli watched, waiting for the swing to squeak dramatically. But something else happened. The swing glowed faintly, a silvery shimmer travelling up the chains. Maya? Eli called, pointing. What? She asked, kicking higher. The glow pulsed brighter. Eli's eyes widened. Why is it glowing? Maya slowed, glancing down. Maybe it's polished? Polished? With moon dust? Maya snorted. Maybe it's just... But before she could finish, a gust of wind swirled around them. Leaves spiraled, and the world seemed to blur like someone smeared the edges of reality. Whoa! Maya shouted, gripping the chains. Eli stumbled backward as the ground under the swing set shimmered and rippled like water. Then, without warning, the wind yanked Maya forward, and with a brilliant flash, she vanished. Maya, Eli yelled. He dashed to the swing, which now swung empty, glowing faintly. I'm not letting you go alone, he muttered, hopping onto the next swing. The moment his feet left the ground, the same shimmer swallowed him whole. Everything spun. Eli's stomach flipped like a pancake as colours swirled past his eyes. Green, gold, deep blue. He felt weightless, like falling and flying at the same time. Then just as suddenly, the spinning stopped. Eli landed face first in a patch of fern-like plants. Ow! He groaned, sitting up and spitting out leaves. Maya? Over here! Maya's voice called from nearby. She stood brushing dirt off her jeans, eyes wide as she took in their surroundings. They weren't in Willowbrook Park anymore. Towering trees loomed around them, giant twisted trunks with leaves bigger than umbrellas. Strange bird calls echoed, and insects the size of dinner plates buzzed lazily through the thick air. Okay, Eli said slowly, turning in a circle. Where are the jungle gyms? Maya's mouth hung open. This looks prehistoric. Eli's brow furrowed. Prehistoric like dinosaur prehistoric? As if to answer, a deep rumble vibrated the ground. The siblings froze. Through the trees, an enormous creature lumbered past, a massive triceratops, its horns glinting in the filtered sunlight. It munched lazily on a bush, seemingly oblivious to the 2 stunned kids. Eli's jaw dropped. Maya, that's not an animatronic. Maya nodded slowly. That's a real dinosaur. They crouched behind a fallen log, peeking as more dinosaurs, small, bird-like ones, darted through the undergrowth. Okay, Eli whispered, and how did this happen? Maya pointed toward where the swing set had been, except now, in its place, there was nothing but rocks and tall grass. The swing! It must have been a portal, she muttered. A what now? Eli hissed. A portal! It transported us here. Well, that's great, Eli huffed, but how do we unportal? Maya frowned, glancing back. We probably need to find the swing set again. A sudden roar split the air. Birds scattered from the trees and the ground shook. Maya grabbed Eli's arm. "Let's not stick around to meet whatever made that noise." They scrambled through the underbrush, dodging massive tree roots and vines. A pair of small dinosaurs, microraptors, Maya recognized, chased each other nearby, paying them no mind. Eventually, they paused to catch their breath. Eli panted, wiping sweat from his forehead. "This is insane. Do you think there are, T-Rexes here?" Maya gave him a grim smile. "I'd say odds are good." They stared at each other for a moment before bursting out laughing, nervous, breathless giggles that echoed through the jungle. "Okay," Eli said, regaining composure. "So we've traveled back in time. There are dinosaurs everywhere, and we've lost our ride home." "Pretty much sums it up," Maya replied. "Well," Eli grinned, "at least it's more exciting than the monkey bars." Their laughter faded as distant smoke curled above the treetops. Maya squinted. "Hey, is that smoke?" Eli's eyes widened. "Please tell me it's not a volcano." A low rumble answered. Maya grabbed Eli's hand. "We need to find that swing set! Fast!" Together, they ducked back into the jungle, unaware that their adventure was only just beginning. Chapter 2. Dinosaurs Everywhere. Maya and Eli stumbled through the prehistoric jungle, eyes darting at every rustle and snap of twigs. Towering ferns brushed their shoulders, and vines dangled like jungle spaghetti from branches high above. "Okay," Eli huffed, swatting at a mosquito the size of a grape. "I've officially lost count of how many times something's buzzed past my face." Maya laughed breathlessly. "Just wait until one of those somethings tries to eat us." Eli groaned. "Not funny." They paused beneath a massive tree whose trunk was wider than their living room. The ground beneath was littered with odd footprints, some small and bird-like, others enormous, clawed and ominous. Maya crouched to examine one of the prints. "Definitely not a chicken," she muttered. Eli glanced around. "Hey, do you hear that?" From somewhere beyond the trees came a rhythmic thudding, like giant drums pounding steadily. Both kids froze. With a loud crash, something burst through the undergrowth, a herd of ankylosaurs, their armored backs glinting in the filtered sunlight. They moved as one, lumbering slowly, oblivious to Maya and Eli. Maya's eyes widened. "They look like tanks with legs." Eli grinned nervously. "At least they're vegetarians, right?" They waited until the herd passed before creeping onward, more cautiously this time. After what felt like forever, they broke through a dense patch of ferns and gasped. There it was, the swing set. But instead of gleaming metal, it now looked ancient and overgrown. Vines tangled around the chains and moss covered the seat. Maya rushed forward, brushing at the vines. "It's still here! We can go home!" Eli frowned. "Wait, is it supposed to look this dead?" The swings hung motionless, no glow, no shimmer. Nothing. Maya tugged the chain experimentally. "It's not working." Eli circled the swing set. "Maybe we broke it." Maya shook her head. "Number. Maybe we need to swing again, just like before." They each grabbed a swing and pumped their legs, trying to recreate the motion, but no shimmer, no flash. Panting, they slowed to a stop. "Great," Eli muttered. "Stuck with dinosaurs forever." Maya glanced around, biting her lip. "There has to be a way. Maybe something's missing." Suddenly, a low growl echoed behind them. They spun to see a pack of velociraptors creeping from the shadows, eyes glinting. Eli's voice cracked. "Definitely not vegetarians." "Run!" Maya shouted. They bolted through the jungle, ducking under branches and leaping over logs. The raptors followed swiftly, their sharp claws clicking against rocks. Just as one lunged, a massive shadow fell over them. A huge brachiosaurus stomped into view, its long neck swinging low. The raptors scattered, snarling, as the gentle giant plodded past. Maya and Eli collapsed behind a fallen tree, catching their breath. "That," Eli gasped, "was way too close." Maya glanced up at the brachiosaurus, who seemed unfazed by the chaos. "Guess not all the dinosaurs want to eat us." As they rested, a faint rumble shook the ground beneath them. They exchanged worried glances. Volcano? Eli asked. Maya nodded grimly. We're running out of time. They stood determined. Tomorrow, Maya said, we figure out how to wake up that swing set, or we're toast. Chapter 3. Volcano Trouble. Morning broke hazy and hot over the prehistoric jungle, though neither Maya nor Eli could tell the time exactly. They'd spent the night tucked beneath a thick tree canopy, huddled close, keeping one ear open for growls and one eye on the swing set they had found the day before. But now, as the first light filtered through the leaves, something else grabbed their attention. A low rumble vibrated the ground, steady and ominous. Birds took off in flocks. Distant trees swayed unnaturally, not from wind, but from the trembling earth. Eli rubbed his eyes. Please tell me that's just thunder. Maya squinted toward the horizon. I wish. Through a gap in the trees, they could now clearly see dark smoke billowing upward, blackening the bright blue sky. It's the volcano, she whispered, and it's getting ready to blow. Finally, they arrived back where they had started. The swing set still sat exactly where they'd left it. Silent, motionless, no shimmering light. They approached cautiously. Maya walked around it in circles, tapping the metal frame. There has to be a way to reactivate it. Eli, ever practical, poked at the swing seat. What if, maybe, it's not the swing set that's broken, maybe it's US? Maya raised an eyebrow. Explain. You know how yesterday we weren't even thinking about it when it worked? We were just playing, swinging, not worrying. Maya nodded slowly. You're saying we need to swing like that again? Like it's just fun? Exactly, Eli said. No pressure, like the first time. They exchanged glances, then climbed onto the swings. For a moment, they pumped their legs awkwardly, stiff with nerves. The swings creaked, but nothing happened. Maya sighed. It's no use. I can't stop thinking about that volcano. As if to emphasize her point, another deep rumble echoed, and a distant crash sent birds screeching overhead. Suddenly, the jungle wasn't quiet anymore. Trees shook violently. In the distance, a flow of molten red trickled down the volcano's slope. Then came the real terror. The ground buckled beneath their feet. Dinosaurs, small and large, began crashing through the trees, fleeing the rumbling mountain. Herds of triceratops thundered past, followed by panicked packs of smaller creatures. A deafening crack sounded, and smoke and rocks shot into the sky from the mouth of the volcano. Maya jumped off the swing. We need to move! Now! They dodged stampeding dinosaurs, weaving through legs and leaping over fallen branches. The swing set remained eerily still behind them. Suddenly, Eli skidded to a stop. Wait! The swing set won't start if we're scared. We have to go back. One more try. Maya glanced at the looming clouds of ash. Are you serious? But one look at Eli's determined face was enough. They raced back to the swings, now partially buried in fallen leaves. Climbing on, they squeezed their eyes shut. This time, Eli whispered, pretend we're just at the park. No volcano, no dinosaurs. They kicked off, swinging higher and higher. A faint shimmer flickered at the edges. Keep going! Maya urged, heart pounding. Another roar, closer now. Trees cracked behind them as lava inched nearer. But just as the heat licked at their heels, the swing set burst into light. Now! Maya shouted. With one final synchronized swing, the ground beneath them vanished, the air around them shimmering like liquid silver. Everything spun. They felt themselves flung forward, past roaring dinosaurs, past falling ash, until the sound of the jungle faded entirely. And just like that, they landed in a familiar patch of grass. The familiar sounds of Willowbrook Park welcomed Maya and Eli back like an old friend. Birds chirped. The distant hum of lawnmowers buzzed, and the warm afternoon sun filtered gently through the trees. They lay in the grass catching their breath, blinking at the calm blue sky above. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Finally, Eli broke the silence. That was insane. Maya rolled onto her side, giving him a crooked grin. Understatement of the year. They both sat up, glancing back at the old swing set. It looked exactly the same. Rusty, creaky, perfectly ordinary. No shimmer, no hum, just an aging piece of playground equipment. Maya tilted her head. Do you think anyone would believe us? Eli snorted. Not unless we brought back a dinosaur. They laughed, the sound of their laughter light and nervous. At that moment, a voice called from across the park, "There you are!" Their mum waved from a nearby picnic table, a bag of sandwiches in hand. "Your cousins thought you were with me, and I thought you were with them." Maya and Eli exchanged wide-eyed glances. "Coming!" Maya shouted back. They stood, brushing dirt off their clothes. As they walked toward their mum, Maya reached into her pocket. Her fingers brushed against something small and smooth. She pulled it out, a shiny, perfectly round stone unlike anything she'd seen before. It shimmered faintly, almost glowing in the sunlight. Eli's eyes widened. "What is that?" Maya quickly stuffed it back in her pocket, a grin spreading across her face. "Let's call it a souvenir." Together they ran off to join their family, but not without glancing back at the swing set one last time. It stood silent, but they knew its secret, and who knew, maybe one day they'd take another swing. Thanks for listening to today's story. We hope you enjoyed it and feel calm and cozy. If you'd like more screen-free, ad-free and wholesome stories, don't forget to follow our channel. Or hop on over to our YouTube channel for even more wholesome screen-free tales. See you next time.